We'll get into the review. Hello, it's me. 15 minutes a game. I just wrapped up stellarblade, and this is the part where I usually give my post-game thoughts on the game. I usually cover three categories. It's a review of sorts: graphics, story, and gameplay. Let's start with graphics. This is a very, very pretty game. Like, in all aspects, I don't think there was any part of it where I was like, "Oh, this looks bad. This looks atrocious." Um, Graphically, it was like really good. I like the art style. I don't know if you could say this as an art style. I guess it does. Like post-apocalyptic kind of whatever. But the game looks really good. Uh, I guess this is as good a place to mention it as any. I do want to talk about um, kind of the elephant in the room. And you know what? Let me get a little more, dressed more appropriately so you can understand. Um, the character model in this game looks good. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look good, but it's incredibly odd. It's odd. How do I say this? It's odd the marketing for this game was centered around the character model, it seems, as opposed to the quality of the game. I think the game is good outside of the character model. Um, it is weird that there's such a focus on the character model. If I'll go out and just say it, it's too people are too horny for this. And let me elaborate why I think that is. I don't think there's anything wrong with the character model looking this way. I don't even think there's anything wrong with outfits like this. But it is weird that that is the focus of the game as opposed to the quality of the game. And let me explain why. Recently, like a week or two, there was an update for this game, because people they added a boss challenge, but they shortened some of the dresses because people were complaining that the dresses were a little bit longer than they appeared in like promotional pieces for the game. And the studio capitulated to that and shortened the dresses or whatever. Like, it's weird that this game, the people behind it are responding to the horniness of some people who are playing this game. And that's kind of what I mean by it. Like, it's just odd. It's odd, and I kind of can't wrap my head around it. Like, if a game's good, a game is good. I don't care if what the character model looks like. The character model can look like this, but it's weird how horny it is. It kind of makes me feel dirty, like playing it, or even seeing like outfits like this. Like, I don't know. The game looks good. I'm not gonna like say it doesn't. The character model looks good. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. I mean, it's easy on the eyes. But it's just odd how much focus was put into how the character model looks, and I feel like people are buying this game. There are a good chunk of people who are buying this game not because the game is good. I think the game is good, but because the character model looks like that, and people are taking a stand on that. Is that just good marketing? Yeah, that is good marketing. So I don't even know if I'm too mad at them for marketing, but I'm mad at people for kind of responding to this game so hornily, that the studio is going back and shortening dresses, so people can, I don't know, get off a little easier. I don't know. It's weird, and I feel it's like it's a weird state for the community to be in. I'm not opposed to character models looking any kind of way. You know, do what you if that's your artistic vision, do your thing. But I think it's kind of sets the gaming community back to say like, oh, a game has to be sexy. You know what I mean? There was like a response, and this is going back, and this is more a commentary on the community than on the game. But going back to like Spider-Man 2 from October last year, there was a lot of talk about Miles Morales' girlfriend's character model. I'm forgetting her name. I'm sorry, and Mary Jane's character model. I don't care. You know what I mean? Is the game good? Is the big question. But like people are like, oh, the character model wasn't sexy enough. I couldn't stand seeing her on screen. Like, that's outrageous. That's quite frankly just outrageous. And I don't want gaming to capitulate to a stereotypical gamer. Like I was hoping we're kind of beyond that as the gaming community to say like, you know, oh, I don't know. I think I got my point across, but I kind of, to be dramatic, weep for the state of the community where a game like this is boosted on the character model alone as opposed to the quality of the game. And again, I think the game is good. Anyways, that's my little piece. Graphically, the game looks really good. Like, it's honestly an incredibly looking game. There were no areas where I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. Like, I was always excited to explore a place because it looks so good. All right, so that's graphics. Let's go on to gameplay. It's not incredibly difficult. They put you at normal difficulty. That's the max you can do on your first playthrough, which is fine. But it's not like, I think people may have thought this was a Souls-like, and in a sense it is. But it's more like a cross between a Souls-like and a hack and slash. As you can see, I have 8 health containers on the left there. Those are like stems. Those are like whatever healing potions, whatever you call them in a Dark Souls game. It's like that. There's parrying. There's dodges. But I think you can get by, honestly, not being incredibly technical in this game. This game is very forgiving. You'll have opportunities to kind of just cheese your way through a lot of the fights in this game. A lot of the normal combat encounters are not incredibly challenging necessarily. Not to say I hadn't died my fair share of times, but I was never like disheartened to a degree like where I would be if I was playing a Souls game or even like Jedi, Fallen Order or Survivor. This game is much more forgiving. That being said, I think the combat is really fun. The parrying feels good. The perfect dodges feels good. There's a lot of moves for you to use. Your combat tree, you got a lot of options to customize your character and kind of do it the way you want to do it. I think it's really fun. There are some puzzle and parkour elements to this game, which I think are also really good. It kind of reminded me of a better Sonic 06, some of the sections in this game. You'd be on rails sometimes you'll be scaling a building or whatever. It's like Uncharted. It's kind of a mix of a lot of games, but there's a lot of variety in this game. Like you know, I'll be playing it and I'll get to like a puzzle that was not just a rehash of another puzzle. It'll be like an entirely new thing that I never saw before, like near the end of the game. There are like Resident Evil sections in the game where you can only use the gun. I mean, there's a lot of variety in this game, and I appreciate that. Side missions in this game, a lot of them are interesting to do. And I was coming off of like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, where a lot of the side missions were just really boring. But the side missions in this game do what side missions should do: encourage you to explore the map and experience, like, you know, a mildly interesting story, or sometimes a very interesting story. And you're often like very much rewarded for doing those. Like, you're better off doing the side missions. They're not just a waste of time. They're not even just a completionist checklist. They're fun to do, which a lot of games kind of miss out on side missions. What else in gameplay? I think that's it for gameplay. Oh, the bosses in this game. The minor bosses are kind of repetitive. You kind of see the same 3 bosses for like any minor boss you might see, or a boss in a side mission. You've seen those bosses earlier in the game. The major bosses in this game, really fun. A lot of the bosses in this game, they're challenging. They're challenging, but not too challenging. But the cinematics are also really good, you know, whenever you finish them off. Retributions, all that is really good. Oh, and I guess I should mention, there are multiple ways. There's a lot in this game. There are multiple ways to take down enemies. You can focus on beta skills if you want. You can focus on parrying and dodging if you want. You have alpha skills. You have attacky mode that you could, like a rage mode that you can fully upgrade and kind of like focus on that if you wanted to do that. You could totally focus on parries and just get their. They have a retribution meter. You can get that down and do a ton of damage once you get their retribution meter down. There's like a lot of ways to a lot of ways to take care of enemies in this game, and I appreciate like the options and like you know, unstrict method to get things done. More than one way to skin a cat in this game. Where a lot of Souls-like, there's really only one way to do it. You know. Yeah. Oh, and cinematically, like, this game is really good. Maybe this falls under graphics, but there's like a very and this is like stuff I appreciate. It's anime-esque. The finishers for bosses, they're always incredible. There is a space section in this game where you're shooting a big hand laser, and it's silly, but it's so cool. There's a lot of just cool set pieces in this game. So yeah, I'll give it that. It's really good. Gameplay wise, I like it a lot. It's really fun. Story, I couldn't really follow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know where we are. And that's maybe a product of me streaming this game. And usually when I stream a game, I am paying attention to chat or looking at other things or making sure the stream is going well. So it was kind of hard to follow. Maybe that's just a me thing. I'm not gonna diss it too bad. Story is usually my favorite part of any of these games, any game I play, but it wasn't anything too crazy. Like, it's more an excuse to see. For me, it was more an excuse to see this next cool set piece or whatever. So yeah, I don't have much to say on the story. It's fun. It's definitely passable. Overall for this game, I say it's worth buying. It's worth buying now if you want to buy it. There's a lot of fun stuff. They're still adding things. They added a boss rush mode to this game, which, you know, more content is more content. So it's really fun. I would check it out if you want to. It's one of the better games I've played in a little bit. Better than last two games I've played on this channel. So it's really fun. It's worth checking out. That is my review. Those are my thoughts. If you disagree with me, if you have anything to add, please add it in the comments. If you want to leave a like up for a bid subscribe, you can. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to, really helps out the channel. Hope to see you guys in another video, another stream. I guess I can mention what game I don't even know what game I'm planning on streaming next. I'm thinking like maybe I try to like, maybe I shouldn't care. I might finish, I played Uncharted 1 and 2 last year and I never finished. I might play Uncharted 3. Those games are usually pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of side stuff, so it'd be fast to finish. I might play, if Deadpool is available on an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation, I might play Deadpool in anticipation of Deadpool and Wolverine coming out soon. I might play the old Wolverine game, but I doubt those games are available currently on like the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store. So we'll see where I am. But those are the two games I'm probably gonna play the most, or I'm looking to play if I can play them. And if not, I'll play Uncharted 3 and try to wrap up that series. And that's usually a pretty breezy game to just go through. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in another video, short, stream, wherever I find you. Or wherever you find me. Thank you for watching. Bye.